grabbed the gun and pointed it at my chest. Pulled the trigger, ain't nothing come out. From the shoulder, bow, shot my brother. The last time I heard, he wasn't responding.
Right.
So I'm just like, fuck TJ, and she was like, nah, Pops, he gone. Unfortunate situation. Last year on November 12th, went to an event, from my dad's grandma or whatever, and me, my brother, my mom, my sisters, and all them was down there. I wasn't even finna go type shit. So me and my dad had a little issue before, or whatever. I ain't gonna speak on it, but he had an issue before, so we wasn't seeing eye to eye. Get there, he tried to talk to me. I ain't really trying to talk and shit, because I feel betrayed at this point. So it just like the day went on, how our family is, like we the outsiders type shit.
Yeah.
Like, everything my mom and my dad went through, it's like
They looked at y'all as like,
they looked at us different. Like we did something as far as his side of the family type shit. So it is what it is on that, but so we felt isolated. We all outside and shit, everybody else inside having a good time and shit. And this shit was just awkward the whole day. And like I had my little girl there, my little nieces, nephews was there and shit. And I just heard that my brother and my dad was finna fight, my brother TJ. And I'm just like, damn, like, growing up, that's a normal thing for us. Like, we fought our dad and shit. He fought us. Like, we didn't just fight him to do it. Like, he fought us type shit. He had problems, like anger issues type shit. And that was our life. So I'm like, damn, at least if y'all gonna fight, don't let everybody else see it. That's our life. This what we go through. So I'm trying to, diffuse the situation. And I just noticed, like, my mom with one of my cousins, and they basically pointing at the door, and I see my brother walk in, getting his jacket and shit, but it's like he moving kind of faster than normal type shit. So I'm like, something don't add up. Like, he ain't never moving like that type shit. And I'm just like, okay, fuck it. Let me go ahead and get up and just calm this shit down and try to talk this shit out or whatever. So by the time I get to the door, my dad walking in. So I'm just trying to talk to him, looking at him like, just chill. Y'all ain't got to do this right now. Like, just chill type shit. And it's like the look in his eyes is like, nigga, you ain't even there type shit. Like, you gone. Like, your eyes damn near all black type shit. Scary as fuck. And next thing you know, that nigga reach across. I don't even know this nigga got no gun. Reach across my shoulder. Bow. Shot my brother. I know he fall to the ground, bro. I seen this shit. Fall to the ground. Shoot one more time. Boom. And at that point, I blacked out. Like, I can remember everything, but it's like I know my spirit wasn't my spirit in my body at that moment.
You got a body.
Like, something else stronger than I could ever be took over type shit for me to do what I did. And it's like, me and my sister, apparently, I found out later that me and her had tackled him to the ground and shit. And we fighting for the gun, and bullets just going off. And I guess he, like, looked at my mom while she was trying to grab the gun from him and shot her in the shoulder. So my brother shot, my mama shot. And finally, I ended up getting the gun. I scraped my hands up hella bad, like they just now healed from that shit. And I stepped back, caught the gun back, and I shot. I ain't never held no gun before. I ain't never shot no gun before. Don't got no record, none of that shit. So it's like, I don't even know how I'm operating this shit, like how I'm doing it type shit. It felt unreal. Like, the whole shit just, that shit was crazy, bro. And then, he fell on the ground. We start tussling this shit. The gun dropped out my hand, and he grabbed that bitch, but I didn't even know he was shot. So it's like he grabbed the gun and pointed it at my chest. Pulled the trigger, ain't nothing come out.
That's
so
crazy.
I grabbed the gun, and I hit him again with it. And at that point, I'm just like, fuck it. Okay, cool, let me get rid of the gun. I'm not even knowing the clip wasn't in there. That's why ain't nothing come out. So I went outside, threw the gun on the train tracks, came back in, and mind you, I'm not even knowing who's hurt and none of that shit. So I get in, my mama's sitting right there on the right side of the door, bleeding like fuck. And she like, I'm shot. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, you shot too? Like, I ain't even know, because at that point, I'm done blacking out type shit. I'm, in my regular state. So I'm like, damn, like, you shot too type shit? So I'm trying to grab her out. She not trying to come out. But, long story short, that's really why, because, his folks, everybody that was left on the scene, it was just me, my sister, my little siblings, and my daughter. Like, she got trampled over. Like, her fingernail came off, all type of shit. She was, everybody was right there, bro. So police came and they started doing their little, I wouldn't say interrogations, but, you know, asking people for their statements and shit. And all my folks was gone, so they couldn't get a statement.
Yeah.
So mind you, like I said, we outsiders. They don't really fuck with us like that because of, you know, my dad or whatever telling them things and shit like this. So they got their own perception of us. So they told them a different story. So at that point, me and my sister ended up getting locked up. So me and my sister was in a holding cell for 3 days. Couldn't give out no statement. Couldn't call nobody. None of that shit for 3 days, bro. And that's probably the longest 3 days of my life. Like, I ain't no bad dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't the life I live. That ain't what I wanted. It just like that shit happened, and it's like, you know, I'm risking my life at the end of the day, not even knowing to try to protect everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, my intentions wasn't to, like, I found out the next day. This happened on the Saturday, that Sunday night. I found out. My sister had done looked at me. She got the phone and was like, I'm like, what you mean? Like, he gone. I'm thinking she's talking about my brother. Because the last time I heard, he wasn't responding.
Right.
So I'm just like, fuck TJ. And she was like, nah, Pops, he gone. And that changed everything. Because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, motherfuckers might be like, oh, you saved us and, you know, you protected us and shit, you're a hero or whatever. But, you know, that's my Pops.
Right.
You know, and ultimately, yeah, God took him away. But ultimately, I let the shot off that went into him, even if it was warranted for that moment, for what he did. That shit be hurting.
Yeah.
So that's what they had me in there for. And then that Monday, we was finally giving our statements and shit. And the lady, the detective was just like, you know, your first charge was murder. And then she was like, we moved it to aggravated assault after, you know, we got more statements and shit. And then now, with what I'm telling her, lined up with everybody else's story type shit without us even conversing about it. And that's how they dropped the charges and pulled it on self-defense, and we got out. And we've been dealing with that shit ever since, bro. It's been 2 months.
Has your father's side, have you had any communication with them?
I ain't had communication, but I mean, it's all over Facebook. You check Facebook, motherfuckers is sending threats, talking shit about my mom, writing on my page, you know, just being oblivious to what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all was there, and for the people who wasn't, what y'all don't have nothing to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, either way it go, y'all gonna ride with him. I understand that's y'all family and y'all brother and shit, but y'all don't understand. That's my dad. Like, we got close access to him than y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, you know, how my life was, you know, he my dad, my father and shit, but I ain't really know him like that. Like, I know he was into certain shit back in the days and all this shit in West Point, but it's like, I don't really know what trauma you went through in your lifetime to make you how you are with us.